Okay. And here we go. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, joined by Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. And we are talking about Jeremy Lin and the Brooklyn Nets this upcoming season. A lot of you people out there have been asking for this and wanting to know what's going on and what we think about it. So we are now going to get into that and we want to talk about it. Paul, there's a lot going on right here. There's a lot that's been talked about. Tell us kind of what you're thinking about sort of this roster, the moves that have been made. How are you feeling about it?
Hey, what's up, Lin fans? John, yeah, look, I'm very excited about the changes that the Nets have made to their roster. Basically, they've gotten rid of about 5 or 6 guys, added 5 new guys, including the rookie.
Okay.
And I think that we're going to be looking really good, and that the start of this season, the roster is much better than it was last season. The only player that was lost, who is kind of his replacement might be worse, is Brook Lopez. Of course, the starting center last year, and he's being replaced by Timofey Mozgov, that's kind of a little bit of a lesser situation, although Mozgov is a better defender than Brook Lopez is, and I think Mozgov might fit into what the Nets do a little bit, in a little bit of a better way.
Very cool, very cool. That's awesome. I mean, I see. I mean, you tell me if you think that this is right or wrong. Last year, I felt like it was just good to have Lin over there, be able to start, you know, kind of have a team that they could build around him and stuff like that. But the pieces weren't really in place, you know, full blown. Now I think that, like you said, they're starting to build up. Obviously, New York, the fan base is there, but they need to kind of put some players in a program around him. I mean, do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that, and they definitely have worked towards getting a more complete team and a team that fits what Coach Kenny Atkinson wants to do and what his system is going to be. Looking at the roster right now, I've got in front of me kind of a depth chart type of a thing. Right now, I believe the Nets have 1 roster spot open, and what I think they're going to try to do with that is get another big man, and which they could use 1 more big man. But overall, the roster to start this season, as compared with the roster that began last season, the roster is deeper, it's more athletic, it's younger, it has better shooting overall, and I do think that this team, as Jeremy has pointed out to people himself, I do think there's a chance that this team could compete for the playoffs, or for a playoff spot.
Wow.
It's not going to be easy, but they definitely should be better than they were last year, in my opinion.
That's strong. I absolutely agree with you. I expect that this team will be better. I'd love to see them go to the playoffs. I think it's definitely going to be stepped up. I mean, we're seeing some different moves that are being made. Now, we have the preseason that's going to open up pretty soon, actually. I mean, we're like less than 2 months away from that, so it's not that far away. I mean, I think October 3rd, we're seeing our first preseason game against the New York Knicks, so that's kind of an interesting play right there, the battle for New York. And then we roll a couple days later to the Miami Heat, and then we see the Knicks again on the 8th, so there's a lot of action here. How are you feeling about how they might be ready for those kind of situations?
Look, it's going to take some time. I mean, there are 2 different things at play here. Number one, you still got a relatively young and inexperienced team. So those guys, some of the players on the team simply need more seasoning. But also, my guess is that you're going to have 4 new starters on this team this year. So those guys are going to have to develop chemistry. They're going to have to learn Coach Atkinson's system. So there will be kind of some fits and starts. If I had to pick the starting lineup today, I think it will be Jeremy Lin at point guard.
Okay.
D'Angelo Russell at shooting guard.
Okay.
Alan Crabb at small forward.
Okay.
Demaric Carroll at power forward. And Timofey Mozgov at center. There is some discussion about, I think Coach Atkinson himself said that he is going into training camp with Rondé Hollis-Jefferson as the starting power forward, which means I'm saying that I think Demaric Carroll is going to end up taking that spot from Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. And the reason I think that is Demaric Carroll is a better shooter than Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. And in the offense that the Nets run, it definitely favors you if you can get more shooting because then you have more spacing. But now what's going to happen is last year the Nets had a good second unit, a good bench, and the bench should be very strong again this year. My guess is that the second unit will be Spencer Dinwiddie, Sean Kilpatrick, Karis LeVert, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, and then maybe Trevor Booker or Quincy Acey as backup center. That's the spot where they need one more player. They need a legit backup center, or you could say they could use somebody better as a starting center than Mozgov. But that's kind of where the hole is. But that's a strong group. Spencer Dinwiddie played great last year. I'm really happy with him as Jeremy's backup. Sean Kilpatrick's improving, and we know he can score. Karis LeVert looks like a star in the making. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson had a really nice second half of the season last year. He's young, and that probably is easier for him if he comes off the bench. He can just grow at his own rate. And then Trevor Booker's an energetic player. He can run. He'll keep the second unit athletic. He was in there. And if it's Quincy Acey can shoot, and that would help your spacing if he's the backup center. And let me just say, you also have the rookie Jared Allen. I don't think Jared Allen's going to play a ton this year. He's only 19 years old. He's very physically talented, but my guess is he'll be playing more in the D League. But even your third-string guys, and I'm putting Isaiah Whitehead and Joe Harris on the third string, one of those guys, in the way that Coach Atkinson plays, he likes to use 11 players. That means one of the third-string people is going to get some playing time. And if that's either Isaiah Whitehead or Joe Harris, you're going to be in relatively good shape. And Joe Harris was very good last year.
Okay.
So it could be him or Isaiah Whitehead. Obviously had some great moments last year. It could be him. So what I see with this team is they are deep. They're going to run. They're going to play at a high pace. They're going to look to wear teams out. And I can't wait. I'm very excited to see how things are going. With the understanding it will take some time. If the starters are what I think they're going to be, they do have to learn one another and get chemistry. But I definitely think fans should be excited. And the main thing with the team this year is try to stay healthy. Of course, Jeremy struggled with that last season, and that had a profound effect on their outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's turn it over to Lin. I mean, I feel like he's coming into his own now, that this is really the years that we should see Jeremy Lin at his best as a player. Do you feel that he's at that point where he can really be the best Jeremy Lin? And we've seen flashes of him, of the old, Lin Sandy, in our opinion, first of all our personal opinion only, not alleging any facts, not casting any aspersions, all for entertainment purpose only. Please check the disclaimers. Do you feel like Jeremy Lin can really come into his own and really we're going to see the best Jeremy Lin coming up this season? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's a very good chance this could be the best season of Jeremy's career. It definitely depends on his health. He's never had serious health problems until last year. It was kind of the repetitive hamstring injuries. I do think he's primed for his best season. The primary thing for him this year, in addition to health, is getting in sync with his teammates.
Yeah.
And the the main person is going to be D'Angelo Russell.
Okay, right.
D'Angelo Russell and him are going to split time with the ball in their hands, and kind of each of them playing a bit of point guard. So in other words, if he can get a good rhythm with D'Angelo Russell, and if he could stay healthy, yes, I think there's a very good chance this could be the best year of Jeremy's career, better than Linsanity, and I do think that there's some kind of a chance, if everything goes right, that he could even be in discussion for the All-Star game if he's able to stay healthy.
Nice.
If he's able to stay healthy.
Nice.
And the thing that's happening with the thing that's happening in the NBA right now is that there's been a talent drain out of the Eastern Conference and into the Western Conference.
Right.
So in other words, the East is weak.
Yes.
And because the East is weak, that means the Nets have a chance to make the playoffs, possibly, and there's less competition for Jeremy to be able to potentially get an All-Star bid. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of great point guards in the league, but if things do go properly, I do think there's a chance that he could have a real place in that discussion. So hopefully he could just be able to do that.
In general, how did you feel about like the drafts, you know, the moves they've made in the offseason, all these things? I mean, how do you think that it's worked out for the Nets? Does Jeremy have the complementary players around him? What about the other teams in the league and the conference? What do you think they're going to do? I mean, I can't believe that LeBron and those guys are happy with how everything went down there, and obviously I think they're going to make some moves vis-a-vis Golden State. So, I mean, you know, basically what I'm trying to ask here is, do you believe, and you've said it a little bit before, but just maybe some more specifics, do you believe that Brooklyn Nets have improved enough against the rest of the conference?
Yeah, I think they have. I don't think obviously they're not an elite team. I mean, the couple of elite teams in the conference are Cleveland, Boston, although with Cleveland we have to see there's major discussion about whether Kyrie Irving is going to be traded away from the team. Certainly that would affect the outlook of things. But as of today, the two teams that I think are elite are Cleveland and Boston.
Yes.
Boston had the best regular season record last year, and they added Gordon Hayward, so they're up there with Cleveland. But some of the other teams aren't. They're either might not be as good, or they're just not that great overall. The Nets are kind of they're maybe in the third tier or something of the conference. I'd have to think about exactly who fits into that. But with the moves that Brooklyn has made, and with the losses that some of the other teams have had, I do think Brooklyn has. They've certainly strengthened themselves. Last year, Brooklyn had the worst record in the league, I believe, but they should be much more competitive this year. As I said, the fit of the team is better for what the system is, and they definitely have, except for Brook Lopez, they've upgraded their talent. So yes, I do think that there are good pieces around Jeremy now, and to be able to complement his skills, and he knows the system more. He understands his teammates better, the ones that he's already played last year with. I do think things set up well for him. And that is important. I mean, part of what made Jeremy successful and when he was with the Knicks and Linsanity was he had teammates that he could rely on and that he was in good sync with. And I think there's a good chance that's going to be the same here. And one of the keys of that is adding more shooting in Allen Crabbe, in DeMary Carroll. That will give guys that Jeremy can kick the ball out to when Jeremy's driving to the basket and they can hit a shot. So yeah, I do think things have improved.
Okay, awesome. So we have a question here from Ricky. Ricky is wanting to know, PFV, who doesn't make the playoffs if the Nets do?
That's a great question, Ricky. That's a really good question. I have to go through. I haven't completely thought about who is in and who is out. Obviously, some of the teams in the conference have seen diminished talent. That one of the first that comes to my mind is Indiana Pacers losing Paul George, or the Chicago Bulls losing Jimmy Butler. Both of those teams made the playoffs last year, and I think there's a very real chance that they won't make the playoffs this year. So there are teams that have suffered. I think the Atlanta Hawks lost Paul Millsap. I believe that's correct. So there are teams that Brooklyn is possibly can jump over here. I don't know if Philly's going to make the playoffs, although they could if they're healthy. Orlando and New York, they don't look necessarily that strong. Detroit, I don't think looks that strong. So this isn't a done deal. We're not saying here that for sure Brooklyn's going to make the playoffs. But there are people who, I know Jeremy has been going around saying, look, we're going to make the playoffs. And people are just laughing.
I mean, that's the thing. He's looking confident. I like that. I like that swagger, dude. The dude from Harvard is feeling it. I like it, and you know, we're behind him 100%. But we also have to be, you know, a good analyst and stuff like that, for sure. So Ricky's saying, yeah, Pacers. He's doing that. Real quick here, we're getting a lot of different comments coming up now. Sin is saying, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sin. Is saying, do you? So first of all, he's saying, good to have you guys back. So we appreciate that we're back. We appreciate y'all. And then, do you think that Lin will move into the 6-man spot? I don't think so. I think he's starting all the way.
No, I don't think that Jeremy's going to be the 6th man. There certainly are a lot of people who have felt that way. The thinking is that Karis LeVert will start ahead of Jeremy. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And one of the reasons why I say that is the one thing that Karis really needs to work on in his game is he needs to shoot the ball better. His three-point shooting is really not that good. That's probably the main hole in his game. And so Jeremy's shot great last season. He shot 37% from the field. But also Jeremy understands the system. He's probably the best guy at running the team, not just because he's experienced as a player, but he's experienced in the system. I think it puts Karis LeVert in a better spot for him to come off the bench instead. That way there's not too much pressure on him. And also he can have the ball in his hands more. That's one of the things. If you put D'Angelo Russell and Jeremy and Karis LeVert as starters, they might not get the ball enough. But if Karis LeVert's coming off the bench, he's going to get the ball a lot more. So my guess is that Jeremy starts and will remain the starter, and people like Karis LeVert instead will come off the bench. And like I said, I do end up think that Rondae Hollis-Jefferson is probably going to end up coming off the bench as well.
Yeah, you know what, and I mean, I agree with you in that, and also I'm just working on screen cap in real time while we do this. I agree with you on that, Paul, and also my feeling is this, and you tell me, fans, what you think out there if you agree with that. I feel like, you know, and we're getting more and more people watching here, which is great. We love all you guys. Definitely let you know. This is. I was able to get Paul. You know, he's been busy with stuff like that. So definitely, if you know the Lin fans out there, let them know we're doing it right now. Get the word out on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Well, maybe not Pinterest, whatever. Anyway, YouTube, you know, Twitter, all that. Let people know that we are doing this right now because this is it.
Yeah.
We're previewing this whole thing. This was on the fly. We literally had 5 minutes to do this. But here was my.
Usually I would have gone to Twitter and told people I just didn't have a chance to do it.
Right. Now here's my feeling on this, Paul. I felt like Lin has really come into his own in terms of being that ball handler, that you know, that the court general, all that kind of stuff, and he just didn't have, and he can also put the team on his back and just go crazy and hit the threes and do all kinds of different things and the assists, but I just didn't feel like he had enough other players to step up, enough weapons to dish to last year, but I think that's getting somewhat solved this year.
Yeah, look, let's be honest here. The Nets starting last year, they were an incredibly bad position because of the situation that the organization was coming into. If you don't know the history of the Nets, their former general manager, Billy King, they were in a really bad spot as regards first round, lottery draft picks. They mortgaged their future basically to try to go far a couple years ago. And so new GM Sean Marks and the team was kind of coming into that. It was basically a situation where the talent cupboards were bare, and now they're trying to do a full rebuild starting last season. Well, the rebuild's happening very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so there wasn't a lot of great personnel at the beginning of last season, but giving the team credit, guys have developed. They've turned over the roster almost completely. Now they do have good young talent. They did get some good acquisitions in this offseason. It's not a done deal, but with Jeremy having a year under his belt in the system, obviously Coach Atkinson trusts Jeremy. That's why Jeremy ended up coming to Brooklyn. There is better talent, and there's more. The talent fits the system better. So yes, it's not the primary issue with the guys on the team now is a lot of them aren't, like, their skill development isn't elite yet because they're so young. They still have to work on their skills, but the ability is there. The athleticism is mostly there, and I think a lot of these guys do see Jeremy as the leader. And so I think it's not a perfect situation, but it's pretty good for Jeremy in terms of, can guys help him out and get it done? Now, there's going to be some people, it's like, oh, whose team is it? Is it Jeremy's team? Is it D'Angelo Russell's team? It doesn't really matter. I think that Jeremy and D'Angelo Russell are going to get along well. They already seem to be hitting it off good. Maybe it probably will be D'Angelo Russell's team in the future. But right now, remember, D'Angelo Russell is young. He's like this, 21, 22? This is going to be his third year in the league. He's still kind of figuring it all out because his first couple of years, maybe he was a little bit just kind of struggling a little bit to figure out, how do I fit in the league? How do I kind of stay focused as a player when living under the bright lights of Los Angeles? And so I don't think he needs to be, he doesn't need to be the marquee guy right away.
Nice.
Let him grow into his role a little bit. Whereas Jeremy's ready to be the guy. Jeremy's ready to be the leader. And so I think that, like I said, I think things set up well. Now, Timofey Mozgov, as we said, is not as talented as Brook Lopez on offense, but that also means that Jeremy's probably going to have the ball more. Instead of Jeremy throwing the ball to Brook a lot, now Jeremy's going to have it in his hands to make decisions more, or he's going to be able to pass it off to D'Angelo Russell. Another thing with D'Angelo Russell, in addition to him being a good playmaker, is he's a good shooter.
Yeah.
That's what's going to work here, is that both Jeremy and D'Angelo, they both can make plays, but they also can both shoot. So that's going to work for them as well.
Let me read.
Crabbe.
Hold on. Sorry. 1 second, Paul. Let me read a couple. We have a bunch of comments here. Then we'll take a quick break. Stay with us. We're keeping going with so much information here. We're just going to, reload the info here. We had a couple things right here. We have a lot of comments coming in now. Sien said D'Lo is a talent, but in LA, he wanted to have the ball in his hands similar to Harden. I think the Nets may turn the team over to him to attract younger talent. Ricky said he stated he couldn't drive as much because of his hamstring injury last year. Hopefully that's been solved. We're going to address these on the back end of the break here. Die Not Die says, I think this team will have the best hairstyles. Will the center be as good or even any good? Sien was saying there are rumors that Lin will be traded before the trade deadline. I think if he does get traded, maybe a trip back to the Hornets may work out. It will allow him to help the Hornets to get back to the playoffs. Okay, let's pause that for a second. We're going to address all these and more. Just stay right there. We're going to be right back with some more information, some more Jeremy Lin talk. It's going on here through the night. We're bringing it to you guys. Okay, awesome. So yeah, we're talking about this. Wow, this is really good, Paul. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. The fans had a lot of comments and stuff like that. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that there is going to be some kind of situation? I mean, can you foresee a situation where they trade Lin? I don't see that coming. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Well, let's go through the different comments. First of all, I agree there's going to be great hairstyles on the team.
Great hairstyles.
Great comment, so that's terrific. As far as D'Angelo Russell and needing the ball in his hands in L.A. and wanting to be hard, look, I think that in D'Angelo's first year, he's a little frustrated with Kobe, because if you're a point guard and you play with Kobe, you're probably going to feel like you're not having the ball enough because Kobe wants the ball in his hands. So I think there were some growing pains there. I do think D'Angelo will get the ball more in the time to come, but like I said, I certainly Jeremy is very capable, and he should have the ball in his hands quite a bit. Jeremy did have issues on his drives because of his hamstring last year. That is true. Jeremy has said that himself. He said, look, I just couldn't finish at the rim because he was basically scared of re-injuring the hamstring. Hopefully that's under control for the season coming up. We know, and Jeremy's never had any major type of reoccurring injury like he did last year. So hopefully it just was kind of a fluke situation, and he won't have a recurrence of that. I will say this, Jeremy's very physical. He's very physical in how he plays.
Yes.
And as you continue to age, that becomes harder. So you will have to kind of maybe make some adjustments and figure it out a little bit, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully that won't be the type of problem that it was last year. In terms of Jeremy being traded, the reason why this is being brought up is because I believe this is I think it's like next year is Jeremy's final year on his contract, and it's like an option year.
Okay.
He can either opt in or not. And so basically he's in the zone where he's an attractive trade piece, because I think he'll be an expiring contract or whatever. My feeling is that I can understand what people think. Look, if you can get rid of Jeremy and then you have D'Angelo Russell and Karis LeVert as your young backcourt and you get something for Jeremy rather than losing him for nothing, sure, the Nets might want to do that. But I agree with other people, or agree with what you were saying, John, which is I don't think they really want to do that. I mean, Jeremy's good. So I don't know if you really want to do that.
Well, let me say this. Jeremy's good, and Jeremy's your draw. I mean, Jeremy's a big draw. I mean, he's got global presence. Plus, I mean, let's talk about the stats. Maybe the Nets weren't the world's greatest team last year, but I mean, Jeremy, had the biggest average that he's had in terms of points for quite some time, 14.5 points last year, which is definitely up big time from 2015. He also had, 5.1 assists. I mean, the percentages are up. A lot of things were really up. I mean, the guy was doing rebounds. Now, he said recently when he was over, I believe, in Shanghai, that basically that he's not feeling a lot of people don't feel like the Nets, and this is my paraphrase, okay, my personal opinion here, that basically he didn't feel the pressure because, the people don't think the Nets are good, but he, like you said, he's saying that he thinks that they can make it to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this, I feel, is a good situation. It's not like he's old. Yes, he does play physical, but the guy's only 28 years old. So this is where I'm thinking that Jeremy Lin is going to be able to step up if they give him the definite tools. Now, you did make a good point. It's, this isn't the Jeremy Lin of old that was sleeping on brother's couch or anything like that. The dude is making $11.48 million. So there's a lot of money on the table there. Not crazy money, but definitely substantial money. I mean, he is getting paid like an NBA star, Paul. So, I mean, that is a consideration.
Yeah, look, Jeremy will be 29 years old later this month, a couple of weeks. And he's getting paid a solid amount of money, but with the salary cap kind of exploding the last couple of years, it's not that much money. It's not super money.
No, of course.
But it's still, that's a good amount of money. My guess is, look, obviously Coach Atkinson likes Jeremy.
Yes.
The organization likes Jeremy because Jeremy's like a perfect example of what they want in a player.
Of course.
He's intelligent. Yes, he's no drama. He's all for the team. He's very professional. He's a good character guy. My guess is if things work out and things are optimistic and hopeful and good this year, I think there's a very real chance he sticks around in Brooklyn. Now, if he does end up going somewhere else, could he go to Charlotte? Yeah, he could. But look, I think right now, if Jeremy is on a team that is, getting better, and Jeremy has the opportunity to start, why would he leave? And look, remember, he's in the New York market. He's in one of the premier markets.
That's
of the
it.
league.
That's
So
it.
I think Jeremy likes Brooklyn quite a bit in terms of living, and I think he likes where the direction of the team. So I think it's the people. Again, I understand why people are talking about him potentially getting traded, but I think some of the people are underestimating Jeremy's value, and they want Karis LeVert in the starting lineup so badly. It's like Jeremy's kind of a throw-in player, but he's not a throw-in player. As John pointed out with his averages last year, Jeremy's season last year was very comparable to his Linsanity year in terms of all the statistics.
Yeah, statistics are great.
So, Jeremy is coming into his true prime. So I think if he can stay healthy and the team is on the upswing, which it should be, I have a very good chance he stays in Brooklyn. And if I were him, I would. So, yeah.
Ricky's got a question. Can you see any locker room problems with D'Angelo occurring?
Yeah, there's people have certainly brought that up. And the reason why people bring this up, if guys are not familiar with D'Angelo had a famous incident with one of his teammates in Los Angeles where essentially, I guess D'Angelo, videotaped the teammate Nick Young with some lady, and that got Nick Young into trouble with his girlfriend or whatever it was. And so then the whole locker room got mad at D'Angelo. And so there's that issue, and there is D'Angelo going to want to be the man and get the ball and run the show and all that. Look, there are people who feel that's going to be a big deal. My personal feeling is I think D'Angelo wants to put all of that behind him. I think he's looking for a fresh start. Remember, he's a very young guy. This is a guy who's just kind of putting it all together. So, you could say there's a potential for that, but so far, from what we've seen, everybody seems to be getting along really well, and everybody seems to be getting along well with D'Angelo Russell. So I think that the organization, I think Coach Atkinson will keep things where they need to be, and I think D'Angelo will be helped in this organization rather than maybe not put in the best situation or not helped as much as he could have been when he was with the Lakers. So I'm actually optimistic about that. It's something we can keep our eye on, but this team is very selfless. Guys are very happy to help out teammates. The culture of this team is exceptional, and I think that will really aid D'Angelo Russell as he continues to mature as a player.
A couple things I want to talk about. First of all, it's great to see these fans here. I mean, we're in the double digits of people looking right now, which is awesome since it's overnight. We've had no warning on this whatsoever. So we definitely appreciate that. Appreciate all the great comments and stuff like that. We have another comment here from Sien. Says, I think Lin is valued correctly with the new collective agreement. He did play great last year, but I think the league perception of him will hold him back similar to that of Nate Robinson. Now, I saw something, I was looking at some articles and stuff like that. There seems to be, Paul, some speculation. Well, first of all, it looks like there's been some comments from Michael Kay and Dom LaGrecia that, basically, there's a lot of people are saying that basically, Lin They like his work ethic. It looks like he's a leader of this team. I think he's really inspiring people, showing people, leading by example, which is awesome. And I think that can do nothing but good things for this team. But there is some speculation if there was some kind of with the free agency thing going on here, or even some trade, that maybe Cleveland Cavaliers. And maybe they look for that little extra magic there. I mean, how interesting would that be? Would that be? I mean, I like Lin where he's at, but man, if he could get there with LeBron and make a championship run, how good would that be for his career?
That'd be pretty good. And let me tell you something. I thought that was a realistic possibility until Cleveland traded for Derrick Rose. In other words, Cleveland got Derrick Rose, 10 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
And so the thought is that Derrick Rose is going to be the backup point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just say it like this. There's a chance of that. I mean, there's still a chance of that because Cleveland could get rid of Kyrie Irving. But I think there's a lesser chance of that now than there had been before Cleveland picked up Derrick Rose. But we'll see. Look, I know that Zach Lowe or somebody on ESPN mentioned Jeremy as a possible trading partner as possibly going to Cleveland. I do think that's lost a little bit of steam recently, but sure, I think it worked out great. Particularly if the Cleveland loses Kyrie, they're going to need somebody to play the starting point guard. Apparently, Derrick Rose is going to be the backup, so it is theoretically possible. Now, what Michael Kay and Don McGregor are saying about Jeremy and the work ethic, but nobody outworks Jeremy. We know that. That's one of his primary things. That's the reason why he's still in the league.
We love Jeremy for that work ethic, man. He's great.
Yeah,
he's doing his thing.
He's extremely professional. He takes great care of his body. He works unbelievably hard, and it shows. I mean, again, with his three-point shooting last year was the best of his career. Guy works extremely hard. And I've said it with Jeremy. The fans know this that have watched our stuff before. I believe I look at Jeremy a lot in the way that Steve Nash was, which is it took Steve Nash a number of years to get to the top level. But once he got there, he stayed there for a long time, and he was able to play much longer than other players and stay at a high level because he had built his skills up to such a high peak that he was just able to keep playing even when maybe he wasn't physically the same player. I think that's a very possible scenario with Jeremy as well.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
He's improved himself more and more. His shooting keeps getting better and better. His understanding of the game and the point guard position is improving all the time. And like I said, I think he's just coming into his prime right now, and good things are ahead if he can stay healthy.
I think it's great. And what about this angle? Okay, I mean, well, first of all, I want to say that I wanted to break out the Jeremy Lin doll here, but with the new house and stuff, I'm still in some boxes and the new baby and stuff, so I can't find everything. But we will. With the Jeremy Lin doll, will be making a reappearance very soon, so don't worry about that. Do you feel that trade or no trade or some of these things that could possibly happen with Jeremy Lin, do you think that some of it comes down to how well D'Angelo Russell and Lin are able to work together?
Yeah. Look, D'Angelo Russell and Jeremy are going to be the two main engines of the team. They are going to be the guys that run the team, essentially, particularly on the first unit, but overall, they're going to be the guys running the team. It's probably going to be a situation where one of the two is on the court almost all the time. So they have to make it work. That's going to take two different things. Well, number one, D'Angelo Russell has to get used to the system that the Nets play. Number two, Jeremy and D'Angelo have to be in sync. So that relationship is going to be the most important relationship on the team. And people were concerned and who's the alpha and all that other stuff. But these guys have already reached out to each other. They've already worked out. They're already stuff, and the early returns are very good. And it's the Nets want as many ball handlers and creators on the court at one time as they can get. And now you truly have two interchangeable point guards who are likely going to be starting. So either one of them can do it. And as I said earlier, they both can shoot. So it's not a situation where there's not a skill deficit in either one of them. Like if you look at Houston last year, where you said James Harden and Patrick Beverly, our old friend Patrick Beverly for Lin fans, Patrick isn't really a passer. He's not a shot creator. And so that's a little bit of a limitation. Whereas James Harden can shoot and he can pass well.
Let me ask you. Sorry, Paul.
Jeremy and D'Angelo can both do everything. And so that's going to make it easier.
Let me ask you a question, Paul. That maybe is on the mind of some of our fans out there, and I know some of our fans have said, and some of Jeremy Lin's fans, for quite frankly, have said some things on some of the message boards and some places out there, whatever. Do you feel at this point? I mean, I think we certainly saw some, and we were huge fans of Jeremy Lin, and we're going way back when, and the Lin Sandy, we were, the whole thing. We were so early on it, it wasn't even funny, because we just knew it, we felt it. But I felt like at that time, in my opinion, that maybe there was some, for lack of a better word, lack of, I don't know, maybe resentment or something like that, that there seemed to be so much market success with Jeremy Lin, so much fan reaction to Jeremy Lin globally, maybe beyond what some thought was representative of his NBA talent. And we can, and honestly, we've seen maybe some people not dissimilar in a totally different way, but not totally, maybe somewhat related or analogous to what's going on with Conor McGregor. Even though I'm not, no disrespect and stuff like that, he's a UFC champion and everything, we give him his due and he's won his fights and all that. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, Conor McGregor did get tapped out by Nate Diaz, and now he's going to be fighting for who knows how much with the super fight with Mayweather, because there is such a fan reaction and promotional aspect to Conor McGregor, and I don't discount that or hate him for that. I think that's phenomenal. It is a business. So here we have a situation where Jeremy Lin is such a, for so many reasons, the work ethic, the ability, the insanity, the Cinderella story over is so marketable. Do you feel at this point in his career that if there was some kind of trade situation, or even there with the Nets, do you feel that Jeremy's body of work and NBA skills have caught up with that level of marketability that Lin enjoys? In other words, has the hype cooled down and his abilities come up? Has he had the body enough work? Or where do you think that is? Or do you think that some players or some teams might feel like, well, hey, this is like, that would that be any concern for some people out there?
Yeah, look, that's an old thing with Jeremy. He's always had to deal with that. Is he overhyped, and is his fan base bigger than it should be, so to speak, because is he that good? I do think the skills have caught up with the hype. I think last year showed that definitively, except for Jeremy was hurt. So if Jeremy had been able to play the entire season, I think there's a very good chance it would have been the best season of his career. And there were people who thought that Lin Sanity was a fluke, and essentially he proved last year, or would have proven if healthy, that it wasn't a fluke. So Jeremy, there are certain things Jeremy is. Every player has strengths and weaknesses. There are certain things Jeremy's never going to be the best ever at.
Of course.
He's not super explosive. Like as a jumper, he's not incredibly explosive. So in other words, he's not going to drive to the rim and dunk over everybody, and sometimes he has a little bit of difficulty getting his shot because of that explosiveness deficit, or whatever you want to call it, compared to some NBA athletes. Besides that, Jeremy's 100% lived up to the hype. Jeremy, I mean, in terms of his abilities, he can shoot, he can pass, he's a terrific creator, he has incredible vision. Sometimes he still gets a little bit like he'll get himself into trouble when trying to make plays. But Jeremy has incredible ability to see passes that are there and make them. I think he's absolutely lived up to everything, and I think that's going to get even clearer this season if he's healthy. So if you're a team, look, there are going to be guys out there. There are going to be fans, and there's going to be fellow players who are always going to think this guy gets too much attention. He's not as good as what his fandom is. Conor McGregor's overhyped. Tim Tebow's overhyped. This guy's overhyped. There's always going to be some of that.
You know what? But in my opinion, that's not their fault. In fact, a lot of times that's smart, because it is sport, but this is entertainment. This isn't like I don't know what you want to call it. This isn't like whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. This is at the end of the day comes down to, are you as a sport an attraction that people are willing to pay money for, and much of that attraction is showing the athletic and physical ability that most people who are buying a ticket, if not all the people who are buying a ticket, could not do, but will pay to see. But part of that attraction is the other stuff, the entertainment factor, the wow factor, whatever entertains people to allow them to go and spend the money. No different than I like to go watch Marvel comics in the movies, stuff like that. I don't think for a second that any of these people have real superpowers and stuff like that. I'm not, you know what I mean? It doesn't. So it
it is entertainment.
It's entertainment, right? It's entertainment. Now, we have some comments here that I want to respond to, but I will say back to your other...
Let me just say something really quickly just on that. Let me just say this about Lin and his standing as a player and everything. Here's the bottom line with Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin is the level of player where he is capable of being a meaningful contributor, even if you think that's as a sixth man.
Oh, yeah.
Or a starter. Well, he's somebody who is capable of being a meaningful contributor on a serious playoff team or a title contender. So he is 100% valid as a player.
Absolutely. And we've always said that. First of all, I'll say this. What do you think Linsanity was about, okay? And Linsanity 2.0 and all the rest of it. It was about someone doing extraordinary things, game-winning things, sparking the team, sparking the fans, sparking a city. Okay, I mean, that has impact. That has power. Like you said, he was able to do incredible things. Now, he can't do it or hasn't shown to be able to do it every single night, but that doesn't matter. When you add Jeremy Lin to the mix, in my opinion, that team gets better right now. And I'm talking almost really any team. And that's what it's all about. Plus, it's fun. I mean, if the NBA thinks it's important to go to these different markets all over the globe to try to spread basketball, then why isn't it valuable to have someone with global marketability like Jeremy Lin? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. We love the whole Jeremy Lin work ethic, the attitude, the whole thing like that, and we got to talk about that. But I will say this too, just super quick, and then I want to get to these comments. We got a lot of comments here. People want to weigh in, so just be patient. This, trying to be perfect as a player. Guess what? Shaquille O'Neal couldn't hit free throws to save his life for much of his career, in my personal opinion. Okay, why do they think they had the hack-a-shack? That didn't stop that guy from winning rings on different teams, and that didn't stop him from being a Hall of Fame player. So, you know, you don't have to be a perfect player. No one's, I mean, almost nobody is a perfect player out there, you know, quote unquote perfect. I mean, there is no perfect, but you know what I mean as far as a perfect. I mean, you know, you're not, how many, you know, there's very few Wilt Chamberlains or LeBron James or Michael Jordan, and that's why those players are so unbelievably super special. That's fine. But now you've got a Jeremy Lin that's really getting some things done right here. Paul, you want to say something? I got to get these comments. We got people just commenting up all over the place.
Yeah, let me just say this. Jeremy Lin is not a token player. He is not in the league because he's a marketing gimmick. He is not a starter because he's a marketing gimmick. He's really good. He's not perfect, but he's very good. And unlike most players at his age, Jeremy is still improving. Jeremy is not a finished product. He is going to get better. And that is a testament to his work ethic, his commitment, and his ability. He's just somebody who is, it's taking him longer to put it all together. And a lot of that was because he didn't get to play a lot earlier, and he didn't play at a major college and everything. It takes more time, but he is a serious player. No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, and you know, I don't like to get into a lot of this kind of stuff. That, you know, the you know, the negativity and all this, you know, whatever. And I'm not, you know, I mean, I'm aware of the world we live in. I get it and everything like that and stuff like that. But that's fine. What I'm saying is this: the Jeremy Lin has that rocky story, and I don't know what it, you know, whether they, you know, maybe there hasn't been a huge amount of NBA talent coming out of Harvard, or, you know, or when Jeremy had that opportunity, he made the most of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. He made the most of it. And I mean, like to a crazy, you know, that's what one of the things that's so great about the whole insane thing. The guy is absolutely legit. There's no question about it. Tim Tebow, I thought in the NFL did amazing things. Blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like Tim Tebow got the full shot that he should have in the NFL. The guy's a tremendous talent, and he's out there hitting home runs in baseball and stuff like that now. All I know is Tim Tebow, when he was quarterback of the Broncos, took him and won a playoff game. That's unbelievable. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like Tim Tebow got the shot. Conor McGregor, you can say whatever about him. Guess what? Conor McGregor knocked out Jose Aldo, someone who was just blowing through people when he did in the first round.
Yeah, Conor's an elite MMA fighter.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's an elite whatever, but he's without question an elite MMA fighter.
So the point is I'm tired of hearing all these haters and complainers and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sick of it. Now let me just quickly read these comments. I'll get right back to you, Paul.
Yeah.
Sien was saying, I'm not a Jeremy Lin, not only, a Jeremy Lin fan, but I was a basketball fan growing up. I played high school ball in LA as well, and I try to be more realistic about Lin. He is a great player, but there is some resentment towards him. Ricky said Kobe got a big contract because of the cash he brought in at the end. Sen came back and said that's true. It's similar to how the Big Three league works for former players. Sen then came back and said, I agree with that. I think that Lin could be in the running for Sixth Man of the Year if he came off the bench. As a starter, he's above average, but the point guard position is the deepest position in the league. Well, okay, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's what's cool about Lin, in my opinion. We haven't been here saying, oh, he's the best player in the league, and you know nobody can beat him and everything like that, and he's better than LeBron. We never said that. What we've said is this guy has absolute NBA starter, if not star quality. It's funny because like it's almost like Lin can do this transformation and turn into a super player at any given time and any given game. The guy's proven, you know, so many times that he's Mr. Fourth Quarter. He can take the team on his back. We love the story. We love the work ethic. We love the attitude. that he brings to a team. He can make every team better, and he's just fun to watch because the play is so fast, and at any given time he can shoot the three, he can steal, he can drive the lane, he can do the assist. That's what makes him fun. We've never said he's the best, but we said he's really good, and he's a very interesting, fun player to watch. Paul, go ahead.
I absolutely agree. What the commenters were saying about Kobe getting a big contract, kind of as a reward for being a draw, totally agree with that. Could Jeremy be sixth man of the year? Yes, he absolutely could. I think in that regard, he's almost like a Manu Ginobili, who certainly has star capability, but you can use him as a sixth man role if you need that on your team. As I said earlier, Jeremy is without question somebody who can be a sixth man on a title contending team, even if whether or not you think he can be the starter. Certainly he's that level of player. And as I said earlier, truly the only thing, in my opinion, the only thing, or maybe the only two things you could say about Jeremy in terms of what his deficits are: he doesn't have elite explosiveness, and as a point guard, he could have slightly better ball handling skills. But his ball handling has improved dramatically since his time in the league. And look, there's plenty. I mean, was Steve Nash explosive? I don't know if he was. Was John Stockton explosive? So you don't have to be super explosive to be a great player, particularly as a point guard. So Jeremy has plenty of ability, and if he's put in the proper situations and he has the right teammates to pass the ball to and to run an offense with, yes, as John said, he can go from good player to super player. We've seen it before. He does have that capability, and Jeremy has that kind of X factor, it quality that lets him get to a kind of a higher level than guys who have more talent than him can get to. That's who he is.
Well, I can tell you right now, there wouldn't be this talk to move him to Cleveland and this and that and other things. You're not paying a dude 11.5. You know what I mean? This guy's proven himself.
Let me just say that about that Cleveland thing. There's somebody that works for ESPN, Brian Windhorst, who is a guy who's followed LeBron around and chronicled LeBron's whole career. He is definitely somebody who's interested in getting good players to play with LeBron, and he was very heavily mentioning Jeremy Lin last year. So if people didn't think that Jeremy could help out a title contending team, then as you're saying, John, they wouldn't be trying to get him there.
Right.
They are trying to get him there, and that tells you what people really think.
Because think about that. It was almost like those runs with the old Oklahoma. You had Beard on the bench as a sixth man, Westbrook dishing to a KD, and KD doing his thing. And I mean, Durant, was obviously the superstar of stuff like that. But Westbrook doing what he did and Beard doing what he did were also very, very valuable. And so someone like I mean, think about this: if you're LeBron James, how valuable could a Jeremy Lin be in being able to get you the ball, push the pace, disrupt the flow, move things around, and be another outside shooting threat to keep the defense honest?
You just nailed it right there. There's three different things. There's three reasons, three assets Jeremy brings in any situation. He has pushed the pace. He's super fast. He pushes the pace. He is a great offensive creator, and so he can run an offense, and he will get guys open looks, and he can shoot. That's the one thing that Jeremy needed to complete his game, was he needed to be able to shoot better from the outside, so that if he couldn't drive, Jeremy came into the league, and he was an unstoppable driver. But now, okay, maybe he wants to go easier, not hurt his legs. When you get older, you lose your speed a little bit. He needed to be able to shoot. Well, last year he shot 37% from three, which is fantastic. That's what he's doing. He continues to improve his game, so he's just getting more and more deadly. I thought that Jeremy really turned the corner 2 seasons ago in Charlotte. And yes, he was a bench player then. What he proved in Charlotte was this is a guy who is ready to contribute in the playoffs at a high level. That's where I think he showed people this is, whatever we thought about him before, we were wrong. This guy can help a playoff team. He can make a difference in the playoffs, and that was a big change from when Houston played Oklahoma City in like 2013. Everybody's like, oh, Jeremy looks scared against Russell Westbrook. So nobody thought he was a serious player on the big stage. Well, that's all gone. This is a guy who can help you. He can help you in the ways that you pointed out, and he is elite at those things. He is a pace player. He will pick up the tempo. He will hit shots, and he will distribute the ball well. And particularly in the way that the NBA is going now, and one of the commenters pointed this out, there is a surplus of point guards. But it fits, and it's okay because the emphasis in the league now is on skill. It's on ball handling, creating passes, and shooting, like the Warriors. You want as many guys on the court who can dribble, pass, and shoot as you can get, and Jeremy fits perfectly with that.
We have a question here right now. What did you enjoy more, the Tebow era with the Broncos or Lin when he was running in New York? I said that's tough. I said probably Lin. And the thing is about Lin is here's the difference. With Tebow, he had 2 national championships with Florida. Yeah. Okay, and
I think it was a multiple Heisman.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like he was. I mean, okay, could he transfer to? And obviously, Florida, a total huge feeder school with the NFL. What I'm saying, he was a quarterback. What I'm saying is not to diminish anything, because I love both of those. Those are really, really, really good. I want to see what Paul has to say about that. But it was such a surprise for so many people. And again, I don't like to get in on this, but I wasn't sure that. I think a lot of people were so surprised to see Jeremy Lin from Harvard coming off the couch, doing what he did. But, just when I saw it so early, having been an elite athlete and having trained so many elite athletes and everything like that, it was just like, wow. I mean, I just really, really felt that this is someone that is the real deal. And I knew he could just really, explode. And I know Paul felt that, and he's the NBA expert. I mean, his knowledge of NBA is just so far beyond mine. But as an athlete, as a scholar, as someone that knows what it takes to be at an elite level, I just saw so many things from Jeremy Lin. And I mean, just from some commentary, just from some things, just from some moves, from some coaches, I'm not sure, I didn't feel like, maybe Lin always got the shot. Now, he got the shot that he needed. He made the most of it, but I don't know that he's always had the same opportunity to prove himself the way that maybe Tebow did. Although I think neither one of them got the full fair shot. But now certainly Lin has kept working and doing what he needed to do to be there. Now, in fairness to Tebow, it's not easy to be an NFL quarterback, and we all know NFL means not for long. So, you could see it both ways. But I think that I think that Lin overcame bigger odds, if you will, but I also think that he didn't have the correct odds placed on him if you actually, in my opinion, knew what you were looking at when you saw it. And that's why we jumped on this so early, and we had it, we were so right about this so early on, Paul. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that you put it well. As you said, it wasn't wild to expect that a multiple national championship player who I think won at least one Heisman could succeed in the NFL. Now, everybody knew that Tebow had trouble throwing the ball, and that was going to be the limit. But everybody also knew he was an incredible athlete who wanted a high level in college. Definitely Jeremy Lin wasn't coming from the same pedigree as them. So I do think that Jeremy overcame more to get where he is. I also think that Jeremy is a better basketball player than Tebow is a football player, at least at a professional level.
I agree with that.
Because Tebow can't throw the ball that well. And as a quarterback, you have to be able to throw. Tebow really can't throw that well, and I love Tebow.
We love Tebow. Well, and then just super quick, just because you brought up something important. You know, I think there was discussion or an offer or something from some team for Tebow to be like tight end or running back or whatever, which I think that he absolutely could do, but he didn't want to do that. So I think Jeremy Lin is someone that is willing to, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I think he's ready to be and Shen says that Tebow was also a first round pick. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's like you know, that's what I'm talking about. It's a totally different situation. So I think that Lin has shown that we certainly know he'll move to different teams. We know that. We know that he'll come off the bench. He'll play different roles. So I think that I love the Lin story. If I had to pick one, I love the Lin story a little more. And we love Tebow. Do not get me wrong. We love Tebow. We're huge Tebow fans. But I think the Lin's a better story simply because the odds were longer. We love the scholarship. We love the global ambassador, the whole 9 yards and everything like that. And you know, the student athlete thing. That's what we've always tried to be doing and everything like that. And you know, again, no disrespect to Tebow, but I don't think you're going to confuse Florida with Harvard, okay? And we love the family situation there coming off the couch, and we also think that the odds were longer and stuff like that. So there's just so many things, and the work ethic and everything, and Lin has proven so many people wrong, and we love that. So we're down with that.
Yeah, 100%. Look, as you said earlier, look, you were able to compete at a very elite level as an athlete. I, like Shen had said, I also played basketball in high school. Unfortunately for me, I suffered a couple of injuries in high school, which essentially ended my athletic career. But we both know about competing in a very serious and focused way. Jeremy and Tebow are both mega competitors, and for Jeremy to be able to get to where he's at and be able to just overcome so much just tells you everything about him as just in terms of how mentally strong he is to be able to get to the level that he's achieved. And anybody that's ever competed at anything in a serious way has to respect that. I mean, and you can, guys, as you said, you could see it early. You could see it early, like, wait a second. Like, when I first saw this, you know, Lin Stanley and this guy, it's like, this guy has the ability to stick around. This is not a fluke. This guy has lasting skills and gifts that make him special, and that's what we saw in him, and that's what we appreciate as competitors. And it's great.
Right, and I'll say Paul was a tremendous basketball player. Many people in my family were great basketball players. I couldn't play for anything. I just wasn't my thing. I was more contact and strength sports, you know, and basketball was during wrestling season, and much rather wrestle and stuff like that. But importantly, you know, I went to Berkeley undergrad in law, and then we had a lot of great athletes at Berkeley and a lot of great basketball players that came out of Berkeley, frankly, you know, and Jason Kidd and a bunch of other ones. But Paul, you know, not went to an Ivy League school, went to Cornell, and having been in that mix, you know, just being around those students and that vibe, it's such a different vibe on an Ivy League campus and stuff like that. In terms of, in my opinion, in terms of, because I went to, you know, I went to 1 year. I went to Ithaca High School, and we go up to Cornell. We had family. Half my family went to Cornell, and it just that vibe there of the students, the professors, the whole thing. I mean, I have to say, in my opinion, you don't have a lot of people walking around thinking they're going to make the NFL or the NBA or even wanting to do that. So you know what I'm saying? So seeing. Go ahead.
It's very unique to have. It's very That's why Jeremy's so impressive.
Right.
People at Cornell, people at Harvard, people at
Princeton, Yale, Dartmouth.
Right. They don't think they're going to the NBA, and then they're not. They don't even necessarily. It's not that they don't want to, but it's like it's not even a. You don't even think about that. That's why Jeremy's so unique. He had a dream, he had a plan, and he was in that environment. Now, of course, Jeremy had some interest from some colleges, although not many. But for him to be able to go to that type of an educational institution and to overcome whatever. That's what I said. You're talking about somebody with unbelievable mental toughness and success mentality and everything. That's why he's able to hang in the NBA. If he didn't want it 1,000,000%, he wouldn't be there. And if he didn't work harder than everybody, he wouldn't be there. So because of that, that gives him an incredible edge over most players. Because many of these guys, not all of them, many of them, they're so talented, they didn't have to go through that. And so because Jeremy had to fight to get to where he is, he's got an advantage over a lot of players because he's used to living in that zone, and they're not.
That's what we love about it. I mean, and you'll find the occasional, player, here and there. They went to a football player, maybe went to Harvard or Dean Cain. I think played football for Princeton, but he didn't make the NFL. He went to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that the only super major schools that I can think of. Now I may be wrong, so I don't follow everything. So don't stop the hate out there, but or correct me if I'm wrong. That I can think of that send a significant amount of players to the pro leagues are Berkeley and Stanford. So, but they're both West Coast, and it's sort of a different thing because you have so many athletes and so many people out there in California, and I think it's, but of the true Ivies, and I'm, as a Berkeley grad, I am not willing to concede at all that the Ivy Leagues are better. I turned down the Ivy Leagues, okay, at undergrad and for law school and stuff like that. But of the true Ivies, I don't feel like there is that culture within the students to be trying to really go for the pro leagues, Paul.
There's not. Again, as somebody who went to Cornell and certainly I know my way around the Ivies, it doesn't exist there. That doesn't mean, as you said, that doesn't mean nobody can do it from there. But it's not a feeder program. People don't expect to go to the Ivy League, to the NFL from there. Look, I know a guy, I can't remember his name right now, Seth Payne. He went to Cornell and he ended up in the NFL. I remember him at Cornell. I knew him at Cornell. Just casually. Seth was identified as a very unique athletic talent. But it still wasn't, certainly it was no sure bet that he was going to make the NFL. It was a maybe, possibly he'll get a look. And, okay, we'll see. And he ended up sticking around for a while. But there was no expectation that was a serious thing or that he was going to make an NFL career. So, yeah, people in the Ivy Leagues in general, that's not realistic. It's not thought of. And honestly, it's even less so with basketball than it is with football.
Right.
And it's so. I mean, the last time somebody came out of Harvard in the NBA was decades ago. It was years and years, or even any of the Ivies. And we're talking like, I think the last person was Chris Dudley from Yale in the 90s. And he's a center, so it's a little bit different. So,
And who was that? Who was that dude? Sorry, real quick. Who was that dude that was a senator or something from?
Yeah, Bill Bradley.
Yeah.
Bill Bradley, who was a great player. But back in those days, I think it was like the 60s, or at that point in time, the Ivies were athletic talent pools. But that's before all the other colleges seriously overtook them in terms of athletics.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's when they could compete athletically, but those days are long since gone.
That makes sense. And he went to, I'm looking at it, he went to Princeton and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. It's just become a different deal, in my opinion, and stuff like that. But anyway, that's what makes the and Stanford and I don't know who started the whole athletic push super hard, but I mean Stanford and Berkeley are so competitive with each other, and so the athletics is another point of it. I mean we have the whole axe thing and everything and the big game and this whatever. But we love the Jeremy Lin story. We love the whole thing. We're excited about this season. We hope you guys are excited about this season. We're going to be winding it down here. Any kind of last questions and comments that you guys want to get in here on the chat to Paul? Shen says, go Cal. I love that. And then he says, Columbia had Mark Weiler that played for the Chargers. Okay, I mean, there are people out there. I understand that. But we understand that.
There are some guys here and there. And as I said, there's a more likelihood that somebody goes from the Ivies to the NFL than to the NBA.
Right. I agree with that.
Sure.
I agree with that. And I think that you and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you'd also be more likely to see the Ivy send people to the Olympics than you would to the NFL or NBA.
I agree with that. That's right.
Shen's asking, is Duke considered Ivy League as well? No. I may get it wrong. I may miss one or two here, and Paul can correct me, but I believe that the Ivies are Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Penn, Dartmouth, Brown, Columbia. Oh man, I know. And Cornell.
That's it. That's
Cornell.
It's an ancient 8, I think they call it, and that's the 8 that you just named.
Mark Lima says, "Let's go Nets and Lin." All right, awesome.
Let's go Nets.
Let's go Nets.
Let's go Nets.
Anything? Oh, what do you guys? Jalen's gonna average this year. What do you think that Jalen's gonna average this year if healthy? Wow, that's an interesting point because I think that he is ready to go. Hopefully, he will stay healthy. But at the same time, now we have some more people there. So what do you think? Shen, don't start drama here, Shen. Shen saying, do you think? Wait a minute, we'll get back to that one here for the realists. Shen saying, do you think Lin should switch his trainer from Josh Fan to a more well-known trainer? No.
I think Josh Fan has done a very good job. From what I can tell by what Jeremy's routines are and everything,
it's doing fine.
It's
working.
I think Jeremy's done a really good job with his team. I do.
Yeah, and the thing is, if D'Angelo or some other people step up around him, is that going to hurt Lin's points, or they'll do better team? I don't know. I mean, Realist is hoping for 18, 7, and 5. That's strong. That's real strong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I
don't know if Jeremy's going to average 18 points. I can see the 7 and 5, maybe. I could see something like maybe 16, 17, 4, something like that. And let me just say it's about Team Lin, because there's always been, and I understand this, there's always been people that said, well, trainer's not good enough, the shooting coach isn't good enough, everything. Look, the only thing the one thing you look at with Jeremy is Jeremy continues to improve every year.
Yep.
That is very rare. So somebody's doing something right.
Absolutely. And we love the connection with that's the other thing. We love the connection with the social media and stuff. And he does so many different things. He travels, he interacts with fans,
great,
and
man.
He's just great, dude. And we dig it.
Jeremy is the perfect NBA ambassador as the game grows globally. We all know the game has exploded in Asia in the last, 10, 15 years. What better than to have Jeremy Lin, who is, again, a very educated person, very smart, never, ever, ever gets any public relations problems, never never has an off-court issue, always is nice to people. This guy is the perfect brand ambassador for anybody. And, I mean, he's great for the NBA.
Jeremy Lin's, we love Jeremy Lin. We love the scholar athlete. We love the work ethic. We love the Rocky story, the whole thing. We're going to have a fun season this season. Paul, anything you want to say and wrap up, then we'll wrap it up.
I think it's absolutely, I think people should be very excited. I think that is not misplaced at all. Yeah, the team isn't going to win 55 games, but they're going, I would say they win at least 30 games. And that's probably, you know, if things work out, if the team is healthy, that's probably on the low side. I think they have a very realistic chance to make the playoffs. And this team, look, everybody who was around at the start of last season, it was so brutal. They just couldn't compete. This team, if healthy, is going to be able to compete almost every single night. And here's what I can tell you. Their second unit, their pace, and their depth is going to hurt teams a lot. Like, in other words, if the Nets get down 15 points in a game, it doesn't matter because they're going to score a ton, and they're going to keep running. They're going to probably have the fastest pace in the league. They're never going to be out of a game, and it should be a lot of fun this year.
Tremendous. We love it. Anyway, we thank you guys. We had fun here talking about Jeremy Lin and the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to do it again. We appreciate your comments. I'll wrap up with some of these chat things here. Reela says he's better than 14 points, rather nice addition. Shen says thanks for the chat. Can't wait for the season. Mark Lima says 16-5-4, I hope. Absolutely. We thank you guys. I'm going to try to find the Jeremy Lin doll and break it out next time. We're going to try to get more advance on this, but we really appreciate what you guys did. Okay, Realist, last thing I'll read here. Could have done 30 games last year if Lin was healthy. Yeah. The injury threw them way out of whack. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, they could have won 30. I agree.
Absolutely. We have a lot of good things to look forward this year, so you guys stay tuned with that. Thanks so much for watching. I'm John D. Villarreal. That is Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We were talking about Jeremy Lin and the Brooklyn Nets on this live stream, and we look forward to seeing everybody next time. Thanks so much.